Hello and welcome to Hook on Rugby. My name is Mal Pope.
And my name is James Hook.
Today's special guest is ex-Irish international Tommy Bowe.
Tommy won 69 caps for Ireland and played in 5 test matches for the British and Irish Lions.
How's it going there, Tommy boy? Hey, thanks for coming on, pal.
Guys, thank you for having me on. Looking forward to hearing what's in store.
Nice one. Hey, how's retirement treating you, Tom? Obviously you retired last year, didn't you?
Yeah. 6 months in. Do you know what? I'm loving it. I suppose for me, I made my own decision to retire. I had obviously 15 years playing professional. And I made the decision quite early on, probably in my own mind a year out, that I'd made the decision this is going to be my last year. So it made it a lot easier for me to kind of savour every last training session, every last match, and be able to kind of tick them off. So now that I've moved away from it, I've been busy, I have plenty of stuff going on, and enjoying becoming a spectator again.
Happy days. I know I've noticed you're a presenter now, Tom, aren't you? All the travel programmes all around the place, man.
Have you not been watching?
Today we're driving the route of the famous Formula 1 Monaco Grand Prix.
This is exciting.
Don't you get any ideas?
Are you a bit jealous that I get to drive on the F1 track?
I am very jealous.
Would be right,
I'm actually more scared than jealous.
Spencer Matthews' missus is doing it with, isn't it?
Yeah, Bowe. But are you a bit of a Maiden Chelsea fan? I was a Maiden Chelsea fan. I was a bit starstruck when I met him, actually.
Yeah, Kim was asking if you met him, because I don't watch it, but should ask him has he met Spencer?
Yeah, no, I have. That was a surreal moment, but we'll save that for another day.
Can I ask you a couple of questions then? Tommy, where are you from originally, and was the Six Nations a big thing for you growing up? Was it the sort of thing you used to watch as a family all together?
So I am from a place called Monaghan. Obviously, I'm from Ireland. But in Monaghan, it is literally right below the border from the south of Ireland to the north of Ireland. So there's 3 counties in Ireland that are in the Republic, but that are also still in Ulster. So that's why I grew up playing for Ulster. I've supported Ulster from I was a little boy, but obviously Ireland has always been my main love. And going to the Six Nations, going to Ireland matches, that was always the dream. So the Six Nations, grew up with it. It's huge. Rugby is massive here in Ireland. But for me, as a schoolboy, as a kid, I used to just love going down to Lansdowne Road, the old Lansdowne Road.
Tom, obviously in 2008 you moved to the Ospreys, and you were unbelievable for us. I got to be honest, pal, right? And especially in a team with people like Justin Marshall, Tia, Jerry Collins, Matty Hall, all these sort of boys. But you were still an international rugby player in your prime. You don't see that very often from Irish internationals. So how did it come about? And what was the reason for it? Like,
it's kind of it's not really the done thing for an Irish player to leave an Irish province and go abroad. There was a few reasons for it. At the time, I was struggling to get myself back into the Irish team. I was playing week in, week out for Ulster. I felt I was playing well, but I wasn't getting picked for Ulster. I couldn't get myself, or for Ireland, couldn't get myself into the team. So I kind of felt I needed to do something different. I always wanted to go and play for a different team. I wanted to try a different culture. But to go to Wales, it's not exactly the other side of the world. But with people like yourself, man, it's always good fun. So to move across the Ospreys, the opportunity came up to go and join the likes of the Ospreys. And the Ospreys, when we used to play against Ulster, we used to be real big rivals. There was always some tough games there. So I knew it was a top quality team I was joining. And, the opportunity to go there was one that I relished. And also, because I was in the Celtic League, it meant I was still able to be seen easily by the Irish coaches.
Yeah, and you straight back in the team, man. Would you say, I reckon, you probably played your best rugby of your life for those 4 years you were there, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I probably did. It was definitely the period that I enjoyed my rugby the most. Sometimes I think, I had been playing well for Ulster, but maybe, the team weren't going so well. We were struggling a bit. And the move to the Ospreys, because, you know yourself, that team, I think it was 13 players that won the Grand Slam for Wales, the Six Nations before that. It was a star-studded team. So it was a real challenge for me to try and get myself into the team. And certainly in Ireland, everybody felt that I was going over there to probably sit in the bench or not even make the squad. So for me, I had a point to prove. I wanted to go over. I wanted to prove myself to the people in Ireland. I want to prove myself to you guys. And it kind of pushed me outside my comfort zone and forced me to play probably the best rugby I've ever played.
Well, you made that point, Tommy boy, didn't you? Hey, and off the pitch as well, you met your wife, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, in my final year, when I finally got out of Swansea, I went. My last year, I went up to move to Cardiff, met Lucy, and yeah, she's back and she's living in Belfast now. Seems to be enjoying it, I think.
Yeah.
But we're over and back to Wales all the time.
And Emma, you got a little girl Emma, how's she, Tom?
Yeah, she is coming up. She's 22 months old. So getting big, starting to throw tantrums, man. She's
I suppose the thing we want to know is who's she going to support in the Six Nations? That's a tricky question.
That's a big question.
That is a tough question. Yeah. Well, Lucy, in fairness, has definitely shown her allegiance. She is Welsh through and through, and at the minute she is absolutely a mummy's girl. So hopefully in a few years' time we'll get a nice green jersey on her. She'll be singing Ireland's Call, but yeah, we'll see.
Hopefully not. Hey, that's a good question actually. How? So when Lucy was watching you play, did she hope you had a good game, but hope Ireland lost as well?
She obviously, wanted me to play well and wanted me to be happy. Therefore, for me to be happy, it would have to be Ireland to win. But I think there was definitely a bit of she was definitely showing her true colours whenever the game was over.
That's the way.
Do you remember obviously that excitement when you're a kid and then suddenly you get a chance to be a part of the team? Do you remember getting the call? Where were you when you heard that you'd been put into the squad the first time?
Do you know what? Well, like for me to become an international, I thought my dream was gone. It was always my dream to grow up to play for Ireland. But I didn't go through the usual system of Ireland schools and through the levels like that. So I was very lucky how I got picked. And when I left school, things happened very fast, and I got myself into the Ulster team. And I remember I was doing a signing session for Ulster at the time, and we had there must have been David Humphreys was there, and he had hundreds of people queuing up to get his signature. And I had 4 people who I was. And then all of a sudden this TV camera came out in front of me, and it was a guy, Adrian Logan, who worked for UTV or ITV at the time, and threw the microphone in my face, said, "Tommy, how does it feel to be picked in the Ireland squad for November?" And I thought it was a prank. I think it was around the time Punked was happening. I thought this is a bit of a joke on me. But yeah, I looked at my phone. I must have had about 10 missed calls from my dad. Got picked into the Ireland squad, and 2 weeks later, I was down in Dublin and playing for Ireland against the USA in Lansdowne Road. So it all happened so quickly. Yeah. But it's yourself, James. It's a dream come true. You grow up as such a young lad, kicking the ball in the field or the back garden. To pull on a jersey and play at home in front of your family is a special occasion. You
were a very versatile player. I'm told in your last year in school you played for the firsts, the seconds, the thirds, the fourths, all in the same season.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, first, seconds, thirds, and fourths all in 1 year. So you can see why I probably didn't get picked for Ireland schools. But there was a guy, Gareth Steenson, who is the out half for the Chiefs. Yeah. So Steeno would have been the out half in my class in school, and he was the real golden boy himself. And guy Stephen Auld were the 9 and 10. So I was the forgotten man. But really, my A-levels didn't go as well as I'd hoped. I had actually planned to go to Scotland and probably go on the beers for university. And unfortunately, I didn't get the points to go into it. And some, got asked to go to Belfast, and on a whim went on a trial and got myself into the Ulster Academy.
Wow, that's amazing, isn't it? Favourite tries? Favourite games? Yeah. I've got a feeling that we're going to take a bit of a beating, yeah, James?
Come on now, 2009. It's one I'll never forget. Obviously, Millennium Stadium, last game of the Six Nations. The first Grand Slam for Ireland in 61 years. Hookie, you'd been there and done it.
Here we see it. You make your look. That bounce could have gone either way, but Bowe is so determined. Pace, look at that for pace. No one's going to catch him. What a try.
Wonderful by Bowe. The man who plays his club rugby for the Ospreys in Wales. Well, there are 10 Ospreys in the 22 of Wales today. Those that are here are celebrating.
Let's move on, Miles.
Shall we? Yeah, I think so.
I remember actually I had to do a press conference when I got back. So I literally, the game was on the Saturday, went home to Ireland and made a bit of a fool of myself. I'm not sure, singing a song in front of the Irish people on the Sunday. But I had to be back in for training with the Ospreys on Monday. And I did a press conference and Ryan Jones was there. And they were asking me kind of, how are you feeling to beat the Welsh? And Ryan then quickly put me in my box and started telling me about his 2 Grand Slams.
That don't sound like him.
It's interesting that you brought up the singing career. We've got a couple of clips of you singing in different situations. Obviously, the big one is that song. Ariza,
what's it called, Tom?
What's the song called?
It shone like diamonds, the Black Velvet Band.
That's a lovely song.
They call her the queen of the land, and her hair on over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Okay, what? They call her the queen of.
And the other thing we've found you singing "Free Falling" in a pub in Swansea.
Sing along with me. I'm a bad boy from breaking up hearts, and I'm free. I'm free.
Hey, that was an Osprey social, wasn't it?
Yeah. I took guitar lessons for a while because I was a bit bored and thought I'd entertain the crowds of about 5 people.
Brilliant.
The other thing we've noticed is that you're a bit of an Irish fashion icon and designer. You got your own range of clothes. How's that going?
Yeah. I have a clothing and footwear brand. The footwear's going for about 8 years. The clothing 4 years. That's good. Yeah, Christmas was great. We are in about 120 stores around Ireland. And everything from gilets to jackets to polo shirts, chinos, jeans, shoes, the whole lot, yes.
Now, Ireland and Ulster rugby star Tommy Bowe has put his designer hat on once again to launch a second clothing collection.
The new collection is all-American inspired, based on what the average man would wear to a rugby match. If only they all looked as good as this.
Yeah, it's good quality and affordable prices.
What more could you ask?
Hey, Tommy, right, so Ireland obviously play Wales last game of Six Nations. Could be a championship decider, who knows? But who would you say the one player Wales couldn't do without?
I think 2 people. I think I'm a big fan of 2 players in particular. Jonathan Davies, I think, is just, he's an incredible guy, incredible player. Whenever he's fit, he's such an exciting player to watch. But the big one for me, Alan Wynne. From my time with the Ospreys, I just have so much respect for that guy. He was a leader in, of course, he's been captain at times and stuff, but it's not really it's just he was always led from the front. Whether he's been taken off the pitch at 60 minutes, sprinting off, whether he's out having a few beers, he's a top guy. And I think, to amass the amount of caps he has for the Ospreys, for Wales, and to still be going strong, I think he's just a credit. So Alan, he's somebody I've always looked up to.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. You can't disagree. But just don't mention his hair, so, isn't it?
Yeah, don't mention the hair.
I suppose same question about Ireland. What is there a player from Ireland that's really the big one this year?
Obviously, you have the likes of Conor Murray, James Hook. Sorry, you have Conor Murray and Johnny Sexton too. They're such important players. But I think that Jacob Stockdale at the minute is just absolutely on fire. I think he's 6 tries in 5 matches in Europe already this season. He is pretty much, I think it's something like he's played 60 games but scored 28 tries or more than that between Ireland and Ulster. He just is on fire. So,
like a young Tommy Bowe, really?
Like a young, taught him everything he knows. Nobody's going well.
Hey, but where does he go from there now, Tom? Like you say, you just mentioned everything he's done. Like, where does he go from there now?
Well, that's the thing. He had such a prolific season last year, the Six Nations, obviously top try scorer, record top try scorer. scored that great try against the All Blacks. I mean, he can't really get much better, really.
Yeah.
It's just trying to keep it going. I mean, everybody's waiting for the wheels to come off. At the end of last season, they thought, oh, he won't be able to do it again. He started this season, like a train that just doesn't seem to be stopping. So for him, with the World Cup year, you know yourself, Hookie, whenever a World Cup is on, that's when the players really make a name, whether you're Jonah Lomu to Johnny Wilkinson. These guys, if you can have a standout World Cup, that's where you launch yourself on the world scene.
Exactly. I don't miss those training camps, so flipping heck.
Oh, no way. That is one thing I'm enjoying about retirement.
Yeah.
That I'm able to have a beer.
Oh, it's lovely, bye.
So what's the future hold for you then? So you're working on the clothing range. What else are you working on at the moment then?
So my big thing is obviously the television. I'm trying to, a lot of players when they retire, they go down the punditry route. I've tried to go a different way. I'm trying to learn to be a presenter. So I'm working for Air Sport, covering all the Pro 14 matches. And I'm the presenter, asking the questions, opening the show, dealing with the earpiece and 5 people in my ear talking about when there's an ad coming up and when to stop talking. So that's been a huge challenge, but one that I've really, really enjoyed. And hopefully I'm starting to get a little bit better at it. So yeah, that's the big thing for me at the minute, trying to get better at that, because it's definitely a skill.
You happy, Tom? Any questions you want us to ask you? Or?
Twin Town or Home Alone, which is your favourite film now?
I don't know. I suppose it depends. If my boys win around, it'll have to be Home Alone. If I'm on my own, Twin Town all day long, man.
Tommy Bowe, it's been lovely to have you with us on Hooked on Rugby.
Bread up